Day 51, welcome. When we got off the ferry, we drove to a campsite right near the beginning, right at the beginning, really, of the Cabot Trail on Cape Breton Island. Um, Woke up, it was raining, so we drove back into Sydney. It's only a half hour, 40-minute drive. And we hung out in Sydney all day yesterday. We camped right on the waterfront, downtown waterfront last night, no problems. Um, and today it's sunny, so today we're going to drive the Cabot Trail. I don't know if it's going to take us 1 day, 3 day, or 5 days. No idea. We'll see what it's like when we get there. We'll see you on the trail. Day 53, welcome. So, so we only stayed one night on the Cabot Trail. Um, we went anti-clockwise around the loop. If I was to do it again, I would I would go anti-clockwise. I'd go right up to the Cape, and then I'd turn around and come back on the same side, so you get the view from the other side. Once you're around that Cape and you're coming down the west side of the island, it's a little underwhelming. Yeah, there's some nice things to see, don't get me wrong, but it was a little bit underwhelming. But as I say, if we were to do the game, we'd go up and down the same side. So we stayed at Welsh Beach last night, and we're just, you've seen the footage of that little campsite we had right on the beach. Probably the closest to the water we've ever camped yet, I think. Now we're going to start making our way right down the east coast towards Halifax. And it is a road not often traveled, apparently, by the tourists. But Judy and I, we want to stick to the water as much as possible, so that's what we're doing. We'll see you there.
Lighthouse was built in 1901, with the original blueprints there. As you can see, there's no living accommodations there, strictly a lighthouse. And of course, back then, the road that you came in on did not exist either. So they would have to come by dory to row out here every single day to come to work.
Wow. From where? From the main town?
From Beckerton here, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, so that lighthouse burned down in 1928. This lighthouse was then completed in 1930, so that's when they put in the living accommodation. So again, still no road, but so this is where the lighthouse keeper, his family, his helper, and all the supplies were packed into this building. And I stress supplies, like I said, because that road didn't exist, so everything came by supply ship. They'd come along the shore here and they'd moor just in the bay back here, tender it across, and then have to carry it up the hill.
Oh, wow.
So supply ship only came in twice a year.
Oh,
so they
wow.
had a lot to pack into.
Wow.
Here. Yes. You can see that's all of our original lighthouse keepers. Top left is the original from the 1901 lighthouse. So you can see they were there for 30 years.
Wow.
The bottom right was the last of our light keepers at 1988. So we were a little later in getting done. So in the road that you came in on was actually built by, in the center at the bottom, Harold Bieswanger. They had kids, and he just got tired of having to take them in by boat, or they'd have to walk all the way out to the pavement. So he got dynamite, and he started blasting the road through. Actually, there's a picture of him right here, clearing some of the rocks and the brush he was getting ready to do. He got an old vehicle, and, yeah, he just got dynamite and blasted his way through. He got the road built. That's when they brought some equipment in, and they built what they call the lightkeeper's cottage, which is in the building just out that window. So then the lightkeeper moved over there, gave more room here. So in the 60s, they also started automating lighthouses in Nova Scotia. Like I said, ours was not completed until the late 1980s. And the reason that it's in our working lighthouse is in that building next door is because at the time they thought the mechanism was too heavy for this wooden structure.
Oh, yes.
So it's actually in a cement building over there. Hard to tell, but if you look at the light, you'll see it turning. So it goes 24/7.
Yeah.
And when you walk up there, you'll see just on the left side of that building is a fully automated foghorn.
Oh, wow.
So as long as it senses fog, it will go off. So people that do tend to camp here will hear the foghorn a lot of times.